And then I wait to make sure it's on, like that.
Where's the applause?
And welcome to Buddha's in Your Landfill, or Buddhism Plain and Simple. It's a beautiful day here in Blackstone, the center of the world. But then you too are at the center of the world. So today we're going to talk about Avatar Revisited. Avatar for me is a modern myth of how to get out of modernity. In other words, we're trapped in time here, folks. Like Harold Lloyd hanging from a clock. We're trapped in time. We're trapped in the sky people world. We're trapped in the it world. Everything's an it. It's all flat. What's the meaning? Where's the center? Where's my home tree? Where's your home tree? We're looking for our home tree. We're looking for our tribe. We're looking for our people. And we keep creating false tribes, white nationalism, or a false home tree. Trump is my tree, or Jesus, or whatever, the Pope. We're all creating our little islands, you see, trying to find our center. And so Avatar comes along as a dream to wake up by, a dream to wake up from the dream of modernity. And what is modernity but a recreation of shopping centers? I was just going to Vietnam with Anthony Bourdain last night to Hanoi, and it's changed, he said. And you look, there's McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken, and everybody's on a cell phone. And modernity, the it world, is spreading, you see. All the unique little individualities and things are disappearing. So Avatar is kind of like a dream to wake up from the dream by. So let's revisit it and go a little deeper today, because it's a many-layered cake. And you can stop at any layer you like and say, I've got it. This is it. This is the ground. This is the meaning of the movie. But it's not. It's a hot penny that keeps melting through the ice. You have to keep going with the hot penny. You can't stop. You can't stop, you see. And that's what a great myth does. A great myth is a myth to wake up from your unconscious mythology. And the modern world is a mythology. But let's get on. I hear a phone ringing. Okay. Now look, that's interesting. A phone is ringing. I think I have a friend here who's got a phone, and it's making me turn into an it. It broke. Did you see how that happened? It took me off my center, and I began to think of myself as an it, and I lost my center right there. But now I've got it back. All right, so let's go. Avatar Revisited. I didn't write the title up here, but the movie is like a pirate's plank. Now you have to identify with Jake Sully. Now Jake Sully is the hero of Avatar, who goes through an adventure in order to find his center. When the movie starts, he's wounded. He can't get fixed. He's disabled. He's in a wheelchair. He's kind of like the Fisher King in the Arthurian romance. He has the wound that won't heal. He has the lance in the side of Christ. The wound that won't heal. He wants to be healed. So he goes to Pandora, and he's promised healing. So he has to go through the adventure. He's kind of like the reluctant hero, you see. He took his brother's place, so he really it was by chance. So the reluctant hero is always part of the mythological journey. By chance, you stumble into an adventure. You see, it was just by random, by chance that I met you. It was just by chance that I found my beloved. It's just by chance that I found my career. Or was it by chance, you see? Was it? We don't know. So anyway, the reluctant hero goes on this journey. And he goes to the no man's land between two worlds. One world is the people of the tribal people of the Navi. And the other world is the it world of the sky people, which is the modern world. That's a metaphor for the modern world. That's us, the it people. Everything's in it. There is no center. Everything's about power and fame and treasure and unobtainium. And we're going to get it by any means, you see. We'll get it by any means. Power, wealth, fame, by any means. That's our center, you see. So they're looking for their center, for that will stabilize their world, you see. Unobtainium is it, you see. It was kind of like unobtainium is kind of like the philosopher's stone. I could just get it, we'll be okay. So anyway, there's these two worlds. One of them is objective. It's the it world. Everything's an object. And it's full of technology and machines. And then there's the subjective world of the Navi, where everything is I. There is only one I in the Navi world. There's only one tribe, one I. Everybody is a tribal participant in the subjective self, one self. In the it world, they're just a bunch of selves running around, a bunch of its, you see. So you've got these two worlds, the objective and the subjective. Which is real? Which is fake, you see? Is today we're caught in that same place in the mythological world of Trump, where there's two news. There's the fake news, and then there's the true news, you see. So in the framework of the movie, reality is divided into an objective world and a subjective world. And for Trump, using that as a metaphor, I don't want to get political here, but for Trump, he says what his project is that I am the determiner of truth. Don't believe these objective fake news people. Don't believe the objective world. Don't believe the world of science and objective truth. Don't believe the it world. Don't believe the world of the sky people. Believe the world of the Navi, the I. I am the center of the world. Believe me, you see. I will determine what's true. I determine the narrative of truth, you see. So you see right there, we're like Jake Sully caught between two worlds. There was a moment in the movie when he was rejected by the sky people and rejected by the Navi, and he's wandering in a no man's land, like in World War I, between the two trenches, between the two armies. Which is real, he said. I don't know if the sky people is real or if the Navi is real. I don't know. He's in ambiguity. He's in the middle. He's like Moses going through the Red Sea. He's in the middle, unable to choose what's true. Now that's a dilemma. When we encounter this dilemma in our everyday life, it's a panic. I know. I go to Walmart and I have a shopping list that's ambiguous and I can't choose which cereal to get. Have a panic. I don't want to go home and say, I can't choose the cereal. I don't know which ones, So I get a savior. I call the clerk. I call my wife and say, what? Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do, you see. Ambiguity, uncertainty. Oh my God, we don't want to go there. But Jake Sully went there. So how does he get out of it, you see? It's like a diving board. And the movie is kind of like the pirate that pushes Jake Sully. The situations in the movie pushes Jake Sully to the edge of the pirate's plank, and there's nothing under it but death and uncertainty, a loss of center. But he leaps, and the movie metaphorically says this uncertainty, this death is the last shadow, this giant dragon. And I thought the other day when I was looking at this, and I looked up some images of the last shadow, and it looks like the phoenix firebird. It looks like the phoenix firebird of Persia that rises out of its own ashes. It guides into the fire. The firebird is consumed by the funeral pyre, and it rises out of its own ashes. That's the dying and resurrected God. That's the dying and resurrected Christ who goes into death and rises out of death, you see. right there. You see, Jake Sully has to die, has to jump onto death. And he says it's a mad act. There's no guarantee, there's no certainty if it'll work. He didn't know. He didn't know. So he's saved, he got out of the ambiguity of the modern world through action. Through action that was faith. But it was not belief, because belief is anchored in certainty. I know this is true, so I believe it. There is no belief here because he didn't know if he could ride the last shadow. He didn't know what he was doing. He just had to do it. So it was an act of faith that acted in the face of uncertainty. So he acted in the face of ambiguity, knowing that whatever he did was not right or wrong. He couldn't tell. You get the idea? It's that we are saved through a creative action. So he leaps onto the last shadow and he becomes the avatar. And he comes back and he finds a way to resolve the crisis between the objective and the subjective world. And he goes into this personally now, you see, because he defeats the sky people, okay, but that's not it. Now he's got this wounded body. How does he heal this wounded human body? Again, he leaps onto the last shadow and he grafts onto his avatar Navi body. He doesn't know if he's going to wake up dead or alive. He doesn't know if he's going to wake up or not wake up. He doesn't know. So again, he leaps, but on another level now, an interior level, he leaps on the last shadow and he sits up awakened, and that's the end of the movie. We don't know who he is. He doesn't know. He awakens like the Buddha. He awakens to a new state of consciousness that transcends the subjective and objective reality of the sky people and the Navi. He awakens to a new state of consciousness. He awakens to and totally calls this the new earth. He calls it the now, the new earth. Christ would call it the kingdom of heaven on earth, you see. So he awakens through a creative act of faith. He goes to death joyously. He goes to the cross. He chooses it, knowing that there is no guarantee, no insurance, no knowledge, because it's unknown. He's the worm that becomes a butterfly. Okay, so we kind of like walked our plank here off the pirate's plank. We stepped off the pirate plank of Avatar. And thanks for dropping in, and I'll see you this evening at Martini time. And if you like my talks, share on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. Ed Conley at YouTube. You'll find me there.